Hello, my name is Drew Lever. I'm the Wellness Director at the Randolph County YMCA. And today we're going to talk about the FITT Principle. FITT Principle is an acronym, and the F in FIT stands for frequency, the I stands for intensity, the first T stands for type, and the second T stands for time. So this is just a way to keep you focused on your goals, kind of break down the different elements of a workout in order to help you live a healthy lifestyle. So we're going to just go through that, each letter one at a time, kind of explain in a little more depth as far as to how this will apply to our workout plan so that can help you have great success with your workouts. With that being said, we'll go ahead and get started. The first letter is frequency. It stands for frequency, as I mentioned on the opening slide. So this is the amount of times you work out each week, and frequency can increase as a person works out more consistently. So someone that's just beginning, they might just work out one time a week. That might be plenty for them. If they're just getting started, that could be really exhausting. But there are other people that even work out multiple times a day. So they might do 2 workouts a day a lot of days. So they could get 10, 12, 14 workouts in a week, which would be a very advanced person, or someone that maybe does lower intensity workouts, but just does them more frequently. So your frequency definitely can depend based on what your goals, how much time you have available, your fitness level. There's a lot of different factors that determines how frequently you're going to work out, but this is a good thing to know going into a workout plan, deciding how often you're going to be working out each week. Next is the intensity level. I touched on this a little bit on the last slide, but this is the amount of strain a workout puts on your body. A high intensity workout for one person may be a moderate or low intensity workout for other people. So for most people, doing some walking would be considered low intensity, but that's not the case for everyone. For some people, that walking would be a high intensity workout for them. They may only be able to walk for say 5 minutes at a time, take a break, walk for another 5 minutes, take a break, and that is very strenuous to them. On the other side of things, there could be someone that lifts really heavy weights, or they're playing a sport and running back and forth all over the place, not stopping. And that could be moderate or low intensity for them if they're very, very fit. So for each individual person, you got to kind of decide where you're at fitness level and how hard you want to push yourself. Because you might be able to do a higher intensity, but that may not be something that is part of your goals. So you might choose a lower intensity than what your max intensity is based on your fitness level, because you may not be looking to be training for athletics or anything like that to really push your body to the extreme. You still want to get healthy, but you may not want to push it to the max. So you gotta figure out where you fall. If you want to stick with the lower intensity for your fitness level, higher intensity, or somewhere in between. And most people will fall somewhere in between. Next is type. So there's different types of training that you can do, and a lot of people kind of stick with one type, but you can mix it up so you do multiple types in your plan. But the first one is strength training. So the main thing that comes to mind with strength training is the free weights, where you do bench press, squat, leg press, dumbbells, pull-ups, different things like that would be considered free weights. There's also weight training machines where you have the pins that you can adjust the weight, and each machine kind of targets a specific muscle group. Next is cardio. You can train cardio with equipment such as treadmill, elliptical, bikes, rowers, steppers, but you can also do the cardio by just running outside, walking outside. You can see the picture of this guy on the right. He's running outside. Looks like it's fall there, and fall will be here for us before you know it. So that will be kind of cool to see the trees changing colors, but he's getting a nice, cool fall run. The next one is flexibility. So a lot of times people train flexibility before or after they're working out. What's recommended before the workout is more dynamic stretching, working on flexibility. That could be doing like high knees, karaoke, kind of just moving your muscles in order to get warmed up essentially, but you're also still stretching them by moving. And then afterwards you do more static stretching, which would be holding a stretch for 30 seconds, a minute, however long you want to hold it for. But there also are specific workouts that are geared towards flexibility, such as yoga, Pilates. Those are a lot of times classes taught by an instructor that focuses on flexibility quite a bit. That's not the entire focus. There's some elements of it that are strength training as well, but the main goal in those classes would be flexibility. Speaking of classes, there's a lot of group exercise classes that you can do as well, which might fall into the flexibility, cardio, strength training. But there's Zumba, there's strength training classes such as body pump, P90X. There's kickboxing classes, so there's a lot of different options as far as what classes you can do. A lot of different formats. You can find them at a local gym, you can find them online. So there's a lot of different ways to access group exercise classes and a lot of different types as well. And then sports, this is a good way to train. A lot of people don't train this way except when they're still in school, whether it be college, high school, junior high, elementary. People really play sports a lot, so it's mostly kids that are training for sports, but as you get older, a lot of people don't stick with it because they get busy working, just don't have the same opportunities. There may not be as many adult programs around, but it's a really great workout in order to get your body moving. It could fall into the cardio, perhaps strength training. It's probably going to be a lot of cardio, but some sports are more physical, so you might be kind of bumping into each other, really having to flex those muscles. But sports are a great way of training for all age levels. The last piece is time. So the amount of time you spend working out in each individual workout session. Lower intensity workouts can be maintained for longer than high intensity workouts. So most of us, if we were walking, we could do that for quite a while. We may not actually do that, but if we wanted to, we could walk for a long distance, a long amount of time. But if we decide to run, we may not be able to do that for very long if we haven't trained for running. There are people that do train and they can run marathons and they can go, and it's amazing, but that takes a lot of work, and for most people, they wouldn't even be able to do that, or if they do decide to train for a marathon, that would be a high intensity workout by the time they're completed. It may not start out that way, but for the first few miles, but as you get going, it's usually pretty exhausting by the time you get to the end of a marathon. So I think this is the biggest piece. You got to kind of schedule out a block of time that works for you and realize how much time you have available each day. It would be 30, 45 minutes, an hour. Put that into your schedule, and also look back at the frequency. Say you have 3 days available, so you put it on your schedule. I'm going to work out for 45 minutes, 3 days a week. You can even pick your days. It can be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you can even pick the hour or 45 minutes that you're going to work out. It could be from 6 p.m. to 6:45, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. The more specific you are, the more likely you are to stick to it. But don't feel like you have to do that, because you may not be able to maintain that specific of a schedule depending on what you have going on. Finally, the benefits of the FITT Principle. You have more efficient workouts. So a lot of times if you're walking into a gym, you don't know what type of exercise you're going to be doing. You don't know how often you're going to be coming in. You're just like, oh, I'll do it today. Maybe I'll come back tomorrow. I don't know. There's a lot of unanswered questions, but if you have this FITT Principle in mind, you've kind of planned out your workouts, so it allows you to be more efficient. It's easy to adapt based on fitness levels and time available. So if your fitness level changes or your time available changes, then you can change these elements based on what makes sense for your time available and fitness level. It also breaks down the components of your workout, so that's really helpful. You may not think through those things. This kind of goes back to the efficient workouts. You get to think through your workout before you're actually doing it, which is really nice. And it keeps you focused on your goals. So if you have this plan in place, you really have a good idea of what your goals are, why you're doing it, so it keeps you motivated. And lastly, it can be applied to other areas of your life. It's typically used for fitness and workout plans, but it can be used in other areas, whether it be at work. maybe you have a hobby that you're doing at home that you could use this principle. You might have to slightly shift like what the letters mean, but kind of keep the same idea, and that can really help you out. Finally, there's the implementation. You gotta identify areas of improvement and come up with a plan to utilize the FITT principle. So if you haven't been working out before, you may want to really come up with a plan from scratch. But if you have been working out, you can adjust your plan a little bit using these letters in the FITT principle to help you be able to work out even better than you already have. And make sure that your goals are realistic and specific. More specific you are, the more likely you are to stick to it. It's got to be realistic that this is actually a goal that you could obtain, but maybe make it still a little difficult, but not impossible. With this being said, I hope you enjoyed this presentation about the FITT principle, and that will help you stay motivated as you're working out. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and thank you for the opportunity.